Okay, here is part 4. We're moving on to the 6th dimension. So again, understand the 6th dimension is built on the 5th, on the 4th, on the 3rd. I am not changing the dimension, I'm just changing the perspective of dimensional thinking. That's all we do here. So here we are arriving at the 6th dimension. The 6th dimension is the whole map. So understand where we went through. We went through one street from beginning to an end. We went to one house or one photo one at a time. Then we went to several streets and several photos or several houses we can highlight. Then we went to several streets and several houses we can choose from. Here we have, let's say, a city or a full map of many streets and many houses. And this is our city map. And we are hovering above that city map, and we have, in my perspective, a higher self perspective or helicopter perspective. He said, okay, this is the city. These are the streets that are available. These are the houses that are available to live in, to highlight, to emotionally attach ourselves for some time into. Okay, my higher self now has the plan to put in a self, a three-dimensional self, a four-dimensional self, and a five-dimensional self to visit all streets, all houses. But that doesn't mean I'm moving from one street and then when I'm at the end of the street, I go to that street that is adjacent to it. No, the direction has no value. The only thing I need or I want is I need to visit all streets and all houses in any sequence, without a sequence, whatever order, whatever direction, whatever highlight, whatever beginning, whatever end, everything is possible. All is possible. So here we need a self to do that. And that is the sixth dimension. The sixth dimension evokes a self, evokes a street, evokes a house, and creates a sequence, any sequence, to do that, to get filled up all experiences in the whole of the city. But something changed here. That is the self. In the fifth, the fourth, and the third dimension, we had one limitation. The limitation was I have one self, and that self chooses a street, the sequence of visiting those streets, a house, the sequence of highlighting that house. It's all done with one and the same self. In the sixth dimension, we don't care. If there is only one self visiting all streets till he got finished with everything, every street, every house, that is a possibility. But you can throw in a second self, or a third self, or a fourth self. And every self is visiting his quarter of the city, and they are meeting each other or not. You can do that one by one, life after life, in the same city, in the same intent, or you can play with several pawns and make them visit. That doesn't matter. In what sequence, it doesn't matter. It's up to you. You are the master of the city, and you decide what self you use, how many selves you use, in what sequence, in what timeline. But, and if you did that already, because in the fifth dimension you were one self, but we never said there was no other self. But it was not visible in the fifth dimension, nor in the fourth, nor in the third. But not being visible in the third, the fourth, and the fifth dimension, it doesn't mention, it doesn't define that there was no other self running around. So from the whole of the city perspective, whether there is one self or two selves or three selves running around, going through the houses, those people, those selves, that's you. So also in the fifth and the fourth and the third dimension. Every line you think you took from beginning to an end, that was you. Every house you went into and visited, and the people you met, that was you. That is the one whole map thing. So when you ascend your consciousness, you ascend your consciousness beyond one self. Because one self is only one self. Then we say we are multidimensional selves. Or we call those multidimensional selves, we add them up and we call them the one self divided in every self. Or we say the content is one self and the form is a self. So many selves contain one self. One life in many selves. The one life, whatever you call it. So understand here, in the sixth dimension, the self is not the center anymore, which was in the third, the fourth, and the fifth dimension. But still, we are very logical and building up experiences, but we are changing dimensions, we are changing perspectives. But changing perspectives doesn't mean it is only that perspective. Every perspective is interchangeable, and every dimension is also interchangeable, overlapping, or you can say there are many dimensions, or there is only one. That doesn't matter here in the sixth dimension anymore.